We just pulled up at the lower Hillsborough Wilderness Preserve. It's a little bit of a out and back trail that is managed by the Southwest Florida Water Management District. This is kind of like this whole area is like water retention, so that way I think it's Temple Terrace in Tampa, so that way it doesn't flood. That was the whole point of organizing these lowlands and wetlands. And it's kind of just a spot for all the water. In the event that it does flood, all the water runs off this way, as opposed to going into Tampa proper and flooding people's homes and such. But this stretch of trail is kind of nice because it's kind of remote. I mean, you're not going to find anything in Florida that's, I'd say, an arduous hike, but it's still pretty, and it does have a really great view of the Hillsborough River out on one little stretch, or a spur, that heads off the main trail. But in addition to hiking, I know that there's certain spots where you can camp. The thing with Florida is that, like most campsites, like even Dispersed, a lot of the times you have to like have a reservation, so that way they can keep track of who's where and what. And I'm sure there's probably more important logistical reasons for it, keeping track of who goes missing and whatnot. But personally, I just prefer that I could just go somewhere, pull in, and set up a tent and be done with it. But the bureaucracy of camping aside, you can also I think the other thing you can do out here is you can ride horses. Clearly, my stallion is not exactly a thoroughbred here, but it did get the job done and it got me here, so there's that. But without much more prattling, let's go and have ourselves a hike.
You might have heard talk about journeys and destinations, about one beating out the other. Popular wisdom dictates that the journey, in and of itself, can oftentimes be the victor. Though it is certainly an enjoyable aspect, this time the destination put up a hell of a fight. Still, I hold a fondness for a spot that is not widely shared. And the sad fact of the matter is that you will seldom tread where another being has yet to be. But when your footfalls come upon a spot where most would not go, That makes the destination truly have a fighting chance. The Lower Hillsborough Wilderness Preserve itself is managed by the Southwest Florida Water Management District. It was developed in the 1960s in tandem with several other sites by the Army Corps of Engineers. Its purpose, as stated earlier, is to store and divert water from flooding areas of Tampa and Temple Terrace. Around a quarter of the Hillsborough River spans the perimeter of the preserve before finishing its southward flow toward the city of Tampa. Seeing these waters was the goal of my initial hike at the beginning of 2025. After scouting the map available of the trails, I found a loop that branches southward from the main tract. Another spur off of this loop will spit you out right at the riverbank. From an overview of the map, it is very difficult to parse just what you might find when you get there. Nevertheless, as I said earlier, you'll be hard-pressed to find an arduous hike in Florida. The most difficult thing about going out is oftentimes staying hydrated and dealing with the heat. In addition, the previous season's storms had left many wilderness areas in a state of temporary closure. When not outright inaccessible, a lot of these sites were to be accessed at one's own risk, which is arguably applicable at all times. Thankfully, the debris here was manageable, and similarly, the hike proved equally as manageable, with water and a few breaks along the way. The Hillsborough River has a lot to offer, but I was looking for a place to escape to. And thankfully, after all my hiking, I can say that I found the perfect spot. The river extends for quite a ways, with many different obstacles and bends along its path. In fact, barely a mile upriver from this spot are a series of rapids that one might be surprised to find in Florida. There isn't much in the way of canoe or kayak access upstream from these rapids. Nevertheless, they do provide a welcome bit of variety to something that might otherwise seem mundane. Alright, well, we made it back out to the trail. It's a little overgrown. Trying to keep an eye out for snakes or anything. Definitely back here. Let's go past. Mind the water. We made it. Definitely a little overgrown, huh? Yeah, I don't think I couldn't quite pass this off as me returning on the same day. Methinks. But water level's a little up. See if there's a gator around. Sometimes they're sunning right up here. I see any gators. There's none right here. It's always pretty. 4 or 5 months old. Doesn't look like it's changed too much. Apart from the water level. Well, seeing as the last time I tried to hike out of here, that footage got corrupted. Might as well try to recapture some of it on my way out today. One thing that I forgot to mention while I was taking the video was that a lot of the debris from the hurricane season of 2024 had been cleared in the 4 months it took me to return to film these later segments. Never had to worry about overhead clearance before. But I guess this is what it's like to be tall. this is the setup I've got going on. Keeps kind of losing some of its height. Doesn't like to stay upright perfectly, but it's not the end of the world as long as it's over my head, not bonking against it. Should be pretty good. Got a couple, maybe a quarter mile left before I get back to the little equestrian dispersed campsite. And make some tea once we get there. Oh. Oh. Yeah, the mosquitoes are out. Abundantly friendly, I'd say. Oh. Ooh, is that a falcon hawk? It's a bird. Gotta go down to trail marker 16, I believe. Oh yeah, I feel the rain starting to come down. Just in time for me to get into a wide open spot. And let's hope and pray I can make it to the lean-to before it comes down too hard. At least this camera's waterproof. cloud in the sky. And we managed to find ourselves right underneath one that's raining. Still raining. Liquid sunshine. My makeshift locking mechanism. One twig broken up. Definitely doesn't want to come out though. There we go. Whew. Spent all that time getting out of here. Forgot the green tea. Next time, the first thing I'll do is look for the tea bag. Alright, well. This is the designated equestrian campsite. I mean, I think you can do it. I think you can camp here too if you don't have a horse. It's not like a far walk or hike. But it's pretty neat. You know, they got a couple of sites. Campfire rings. Not sure right now if there's a fire ban. Sometimes there is. It's pretty quiet out here. Occasionally you'll hear an airplane or something flying overhead. Here's some cars. And for the most part, peaceful. And I want to say it's through the Florida or the Southwest Florida Water Management. Through their website, you can book these places. I've looked at it, but I haven't done it yet, just because camping in Florida during the summer is awful. I mean, depending on where you're at, if you're really close to the water, you might be okay. But then it depends on where that water is, because if it's fresh water, likely it has gators in it. Yeah, it's all a trade-off. If you're close to the ocean, though, that's pretty nice. That'd be a good one to go check out sometime. Is Fort DeSoto. It's right off the or it's very close to the Sunshine Skyway Bridge, but it's southern-ish most point, right off of Tierra Verde, down in bottom of St. Pete. Really. I don't know if that's actually unincorporated or Pinellas County or not, but it's down there. It's a pretty spot. I think I went there once with my family on a boating trip, but they have designated campsites that you can reserve. Some are waterfront, some are interior on the inside of the loop that goes out there. But there's a lot of water out there. There's also a lot of mosquitoes. God, the mosquitoes are awful. Like one time I was out there and covered the back of everybody's arms. Were running through a bog on Fort DeSoto. And the damn mosquitoes were so thick, you'd think we'd have just sleeves on. How much mosquitoes were on the back of them. It was pretty gross. So far, so good. Alright. Well, might as well finish up the last of the hike. It's not too far. Uh-oh. Alright, cool. Crisis averted. Gotta re-super glue this thing at the bottom. Perfection. Good as new. Alright. Nearly back to the car. Coming back on the parking lot now. So, without further ado, let's do further. See y'all around in the next one. Well, we just got done with the hike. Moved the car into the shade for a minute. And take a breather.